This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Tonight, the impact a proposed split in the Methodist Church could have right here in central Indiana. Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Nicole Griffin. You may have heard about that proposal. It calls for splitting into more than one denomination as a means of resolving years of debate over LGBTQ inclusion. More now from RTV6's Troy Washington.
As the holidays move out and the decorations come down at Roberts Park United Methodist Church, a major decision could be on the way for the congregation.
The church has been talking about this for a very long time, and I think people have come to the realization that there is not a middle ground that everybody can now find.
Reverend Dr. Andrew Scanlon Holmes is the senior pastor at Roberts Park United Methodist Church. He says the proposal to split into more than one denomination doesn't surprise him.
There doesn't appear to be an ability at the moment to reconcile two sides of an argument. And so what seems to be the best solution is to say, if we can't reconcile this, then how can we amicably separate?
The proposal is just the latest attempt to solve a debate over inclusion when it comes to the LGBTQ community. The proposed split is not a new concept for the church.
The Methodist Church was born out of a split. It was born out of a split from the Church of England.
Now the General Conference must decide how to proceed. If the separation were to happen, it would mean
one group can have its church with full inclusion of the LGBTQ persons, and another church which welcomes them but doesn't offer the same opportunities to serve.
But it's too early to tell what, how, or if change will happen.
We don't even know if it will split.
The General Conference will either accept the proposal, amend it, or throw it out. And the truth of the matter is, even if it is accepted, no one knows when the split would happen. Here in Indianapolis, the pastor says his church supports inclusion.
My hope is, of course, that the laws of the church will change in order to allow us to be more supportive of people who wish to get married, more supportive of people who wish to come into leadership of the church.
But that's not the case everywhere in the state.
Within Indiana, it feels at times as if it is almost a 50-50. I have colleagues who differ in their view of homosexuality than I do.
Scanlon Holmes realizes other parts of the world aren't yet as progressive as some places in America. And in some cases, full inclusivity of the LGBTQ community is unlawful. Only time will tell whether the debate will finally be settled once and for all. Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Troy, thank you. In December, Roberts Park United Methodist Church took a vote to join a network advocating for equality. The pastor says his church wants full inclusivity. Tonight, I-65 near mile marker 125 in Whitestown is back open after being closed for several hours due to a crash involving 9 vehicles. 2 people were killed and 14 others injured. This is video here from the scene of the crash. You see here, multiple agencies responded around 11 o'clock this morning. Several vehicles, as you see, were severely damaged and traffic was completely shut down for 5 hours. Tonight, we are waiting on more information from investigators about what exactly led up to this crash. The names of the people killed have not been released. Let's get a check of your Storm Team 6 forecast now with meteorologist Kyle Mounds. Kyle, it's getting chilly outside as the evening goes on.
It is, but this afternoon, certainly a whole lot better than what we had on Saturday. The sunshine was back and temperatures making their way close to the 50-degree mark, and 2020 is off to a very nice start. Each of the 5 days, we've had above average temperatures, and it looks like that will continue a little while longer. Of course, we're getting through our sunset now, but you've noticed some of those clouds that have been moving in from the north. They will continue to do so, but are not going to be bringing any precipitation to us. Temperatures still in pretty good shape here. 43 downtown in Kokomo, 46 degrees for you in Bloomington. It has been a little breezy, but those gusts are starting to drop off. Still close to 30-mile-per-hour gusts in Kokomo and Muncie. There's a look at satellite and radar. All the precipitation, Fort Wayne and areas to the east. So if you're heading out there this evening, no need for the umbrella. We'll just have increasing clouds and temperatures in the 40s.
All right, Kyle, thank you. There are reports tonight that 2 rockets landed on a house near the American Embassy in Baghdad. This coming amid rising tensions in the region and growing threats of retaliation in the wake of U.S. airstrikes that killed Iranian General Soleimani. Here's ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi with the details.
Iran vowing for revenge for the U.S. airstrike that killed General Qassem Soleimani. A red flag symbolic of revenge raised above a mosque. Crowds of mourners lining the streets as the body of Soleimani returned to Iran. All 290 members of the Iranian parliament unanimously chanting "Death to America" with raised fists. Today, specific threats of retaliation. A top military advisor for Ayatollah Khamenei saying U.S. military personnel and sites are sure to be targets. And a former leader of the Revolutionary Guard warning that Israeli cities of Tel Aviv and Haifa are fair game as well. But Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says Americans are safer today than they were before the strike.
This was a bad guy. We took him off the playing field, and that's important because this was the fellow who was the glue, who was conducting active plotting against the United States of America.
Pompeo adding the administration had the authority to conduct these strikes, but Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer disagrees, calling the president's foreign policy erratic and unsuccessful.
We do not need this president either bumbling or impulsively getting us into a major war.
Iraq's parliament approving a resolution to expel U.S. troops from the country. The bill is non-binding and subject to approval by the Iraqi government, but it does have the backing of the outgoing prime minister. The U.S. sending reinforcements to the region, deploying more than 4,000 troops from the 82nd Airborne Division to Kuwait. President Trump tweeting out a warning: if Iran strikes any Americans or American assets, the U.S. has targeted 52 Iranian sites, quote, some at a very high level and important to Iran and the Iranian culture. Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, Washington.
Mona, thank you. Indiana lawmakers will be back at work Monday for the start of the 2020 legislative session. Many new laws will be passed for the state of Indiana. Here are a few things you need to know about the upcoming session. This is a short session for state lawmakers. They will not pass a budget this year and will be finished with business in early March. Members of the state's minority party will try to enact some kind of marijuana-related legislation, either decriminalization or legalization, but it's unlikely to happen with the Republicans in power opposing those changes. And lastly, despite the thousands of teachers at the State House in November, legislative leaders are unlikely to make any changes to teacher pay this session. And one bill that was filed last week could have a large impact on many schools in the state. Democratic Senator J.D. Ford filed a bill that he says would prevent schools that discriminate against students, teachers, and staff from receiving taxpayer money. He filed it in response to Roncalli High School, which fired guidance counselor Shelley Fitzgerald after it was discovered she was married to a woman. Ford filed a similar bill last year, but it didn't get a hearing. So what's different this year?
I'm hoping that the relationships that I've built, and this is what this business is based upon, being able to talk with my colleagues in a frank manner, I'm hoping that those conversations will help to lead to possibly, the bill getting a hearing.
Roncalli has received nearly $5 million in public money through the state's Choice Scholarship Program. A warning tonight for all dog owners. There have been several recent sightings of coyotes, and a local group that helps recover at-risk dogs is putting out a warning. Animal Containment and Education posted that they are working a case on the north side of Brownsburg. They say it's normal to see coyotes on cameras where they work, but recently they've noticed coyotes packing up and acting aggressively around their feeding station. They say generally they don't eat the food that they put out, but they believe there is some hunger issues for the coyotes. Their message: keep your pets inside and supervise them when they are outside. Coyotes can jump fences, and when they run in packs, the group says they can be dangerous even to larger dogs. Tonight, Washington Square Mall is facing a major setback as two major retailers are closing. Dick's Sporting Goods is closing today. A sign posted in the store notified customers saying they will close January 5th. Dick's has locations in Castleton, Greenwood, and Carmel as well. Another store planning to close this month, according to employees, is Burlington. We talked to shoppers today about the news and what this means for the area.
It's kind of unfortunate. This was a big mall when I was young, real busy, but it's gone downhill.
The decision to close comes several months after Ohio-based Durga Property LLC took control of the site. Since August, the company has improved lighting and added security. The property manager has said to customers on Facebook the closures will not detour them from trying to fix up the place. Major improvements are coming to the Lawrence branch of the Indianapolis Public Library, but before that happens, the library will temporarily be closed. The closure begins today as crews start to work on renovating the branch. This is the first renovation since opening in 1983. Once it reopens, visitors will notice an updated entrance, new group study and tutoring areas. There will also be improved access to technology, charging stations, and new spaces for children, teens, and adults. The $1.5 million project comes after receiving suggestions during a series of community input meetings hosted last year. Any materials placed on hold can be picked up at the Glendale branch. Construction is expected to be completed in mid-2020. A devastating scene. One on the nation's busiest highway shut down after multiple vehicles crashed. The latest on the death toll and the possible cause. Kyle.
It is going to be a comfortable start to the week, but we've got some colder air that's going to be moving in here toward Wednesday. I'll let you know if any snow will come with it. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
Your budget stretches further at Mattress Firm. This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
A horrific scene on the Pennsylvania Turnpike near Pittsburgh. A massive pileup involving 3 tractor trailers, a tour bus, and passenger cars. 5 people are dead, dozens more injured. As Zachary Keish reports, investigators are working to figure out exactly what happened.
A deadly chain reaction crash on the Pennsylvania Turnpike early Sunday morning has left several people dead and dozens more injured.
We have 5 people that did not survive the crash. We have several people that were transported to area hospitals. We believe it's around 60 total.
A passenger bus traveling from Rockaway, New Jersey to Cincinnati, Ohio, lost control, went up on an embankment, and rolled over.
Was subsequently struck by 2 tractor trailers. Another tractor trailer came and collided with those 2 tractor trailers, and there was another passenger car that was also involved.
Lamar Brady, a passenger on that bus, took this video shortly after the crash. He suffered minor injuries and spoke with ABC's Pittsburgh affiliate, WTAE.
One of the guys, they kicked open the thing and said, everybody needs to get out, everybody needs to get out. There was one guy on top of me, and I was pushed up against the window, so we were just trying to figure out how to, and get up and off the bus.
Many of the injured were triaged at the scene by emergency medical services.
They were really dispatching patients to multiple hospitals and making a decision of where to take those that were maybe what we call walking wounded, as opposed to those that were more critical.
The accident shut down the turnpike for hours. According to authorities, some drivers on the road reported there was a change in weather, but it's still unclear whether that played a factor in the crash.
The road conditions seem to be fine in that area. We treat all night long.
The NTSB is heading to the scene to assist in the investigation. Zachary Keish, ABC News, New York.
It's been a bit of a split weekend here across central Indiana. We had some of that wintry mix yesterday with temperatures in the 30s. Today, though, the sunshine is back, and we enjoyed those highs in the 40s. Of course, now we're starting to see a few more of those clouds rolling in with our sunset. Temperatures 43 degrees, but that west breeze that we still have out there over 15 miles per hour is sending the wind chill into the 30s. About a 10-degree spread in temperatures across the area, from 40 in Richmond to 50 degrees for you in Sullivan. It's 42 in Tipton and Crawfordsville right now. As we go through the next several hours, we'll have some passing clouds, and that wind stays a little breezy for us. So temperatures that are in the 40s, we'll see those wind chills getting into the lower 30s. So just kind of dress for that if you are going to be heading out this evening. And by tomorrow morning, we're going to have those temperatures into the middle 20s and wind chills right around the 20-degree mark. So not a bad idea to kind of layer up first thing on our Monday. So we do have some cold nights, but the afternoons are still looking pretty good here as we get into our Monday forecast. Sunshine is back with us, and temperatures will make their way into the middle 30s for the lunch hour, lower 40s tomorrow afternoon. So just slightly cooler than what we had today, but we'll have much less in the way of wind to contend with. Temperatures stuck in the upper 30s for you in Logansport. The rest of us will make our way into the 40s. 41 for you in Frankfort and Petersburg. Indianapolis coming in at 42. Same for you in Noblesville. And those temperatures in the middle 40s around Bedford at 46. Columbus and Seymour at 45 degrees. Average highs in the middle 30s. And as we go through the next few days here, we'll go on a little bit of a roller coaster ride. We're in the 40s again on Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday, though, that's going to be the cold spot. 36 for the afternoon high. And then we surge into the 50s as we go into our Thursday. That's also going to be the next chance for some wet weather moving in. This is TrueCast mid-morning on Thursday. You can see that rain overspreading, and it looks like we'll have a couple rounds of rain that will stick with us here right on into the upcoming weekend. So we could see several inches of rainfall, possibly some flooding, just something to make you aware of now. And of course, we'll continue to send updates to you as we get a little bit closer. 7-day planning forecast, checking out those temperatures. 40s next couple of days, 30s on Wednesday, but close to 60 by Friday. Of course, it comes with that rain, and even behind the system, highs still above average next weekend.
It's definitely the wind outside right now when you head out that makes
that adds to the chill for sure right now.
But we started off really nice today.
Yeah, next couple of days, less wind to deal with.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Well, coming up with more Americans in need of care, researchers are working on teaching machines to help patients when nurses aren't available. It sounds like a futuristic prediction could soon become reality. Experts say a shortage of caregivers will leave America's aging population in need. Bo Evans found out how robotic nurses could help.
Hi, my name is Philip K.
The robotics lab at the University of Louisville is a lot like a toy shop.
You don't feel like you're working with them. It's like more like playing around with robots.
Sumit Doss is a researcher here, and for him, it's a dream come true.
It was always tinkering with things and making new stuff, and my parents always encouraging me to do new stuff, and even if I failed, they would be like, it's okay, move on to a next project. So it has always been a project after project after project.
But here's the thing, he's not playing around. Sumit and PhD student Shamsuddin Abu Bakar, who goes by Abu, are part of a research team building a robot to help people heal.
So in my estimate, about 5 to 10 years, hopefully we'll be able to see them work alongside nurses.
This is Arna, the adaptive nursing robot assistant. Arna is built to help nurses do their job.
So you push on this like you walker that elderly people use?
The robot can do a few things. Monitor a patient's vital signs, pick up things and bring them to a patient, and help them walk down a hallway.
This robot really has the potential to diminish the incidence of patient falls.
Patient falls are a big deal, and Cindy Logsdon knows it. She's a consultant on the project and was the Associate Chief of Nursing at the University of Louisville Hospital for almost 10 years.
Because a big reason that patients fall when they're in hospitals is they try to get out of bed by themselves, or they try to reach something that they can't reach, or they depend upon the darn bedside table.
According to the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, between 700,000 and 1 million patients fall in hospitals each year. Everyone involved in the project is hoping the robot will make a big difference in the U.S. and abroad.
And so if there are any of the basic sort of skills that a robot could take over in collaboration with the nurse, in partnership with the nurse, it would free up the nurse for more higher level activities.
It's about how to assist them in doing tasks that can eat their time up.
I know what you're thinking. Sure, these robots may help us heal in the hospital, but what's to stop them from becoming self-aware and destroying the human race? I mean, we've all seen Terminator.
I think that's limited to fiction. I don't think that's going to be a reality as it is shown in Hollywood. So yeah, I wouldn't be worried about that.
In Louisville, Kentucky, I'm Bo Evans reporting.
When it's going to be a WeatherTech day. Perfect weather today.
Since the start of the new year, you might have seen a warning floating around social media. Some police departments are saying don't abbreviate the year when you sign legal documents. They claim it would be easy for scammers to alter the date if you just write 20. USA Today reports this scam could be used to try to collect debts that are past the statute of limitations, or someone could try to change the date to an old check. While there haven't been any reports of this actually happening yet, legal experts say it's always a good idea to fully write out dates. Kyle? Kyle.
All right, your Monday forecast. The sunshine is back, and we'll get into the 40s for that afternoon high. Just a couple of degrees cooler than what we enjoyed today, but we are going to be warming things up. And even beyond the 7-day forecast, look at the temperature outlook here. This is through January 19th, and we're looking at above average temperatures. We got those 50s coming our way for the end of the week, and it looks like the warmth is going to be sticking around a while.
All right, I like the sound of that. Thank you, Kyle, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 11. Have a good night.